Welcome to my friend Dave. Say hello.
Hello, Dave. What, Dave?
Hello. Dave, if you just want to talk them through what we got here.
Okay, guys. Nice little icebreaker first. This is what we call a hindquarter of beef. Okay? So can anybody tell me, is that the front end or the back end of the animal?
That's the front. This is the back, that's the front.
Yeah.
Who said back end? Well done. Absolutely right. This is a Rolls Royce of the animal, okay? Basically what you've got here, you've got the back end of the animal. In the centre here, you've got your prime steak cuts, okay? Now basically, this part here, which is the back of the animal, and on the inside, you've got your fillet, okay? Now if that animal weighs 300 kilos in weight, all you get is about 2 kilos of fillet, okay? It's really, really expensive. If somebody says to you, which is the best part, there is no real answer because everybody likes different cuts. People like fillet because it's really, really nice and tender, okay? But it's not necessarily the most tastiest piece of meat. You've got your rib of beef here. This is a fantastic piece of beef, okay? Now, from this rib of beef, I get a nice carvery rib joint, which is really, really tasty, yeah? I take the bones out and I get a nice boneless rib of beef. And then inside here, I've got, which is, don't be squeamish, squeezing. So that piece in the middle here, and I won't take it all off just yet, that is your ribeye. That is beautiful, nice creamy, look at that nice little bit of internal fat in there. Yeah?
I like the fat.
Okay, so that's your ribeye. In the middle here I've got sirloin. Okay, that's a good middle of the road cut. You've got that bit there. Yeah, that bit there that joins onto the rib. So you've got a wing end there that's sort of virtually like a ribeye. And then you've got the chump end there that joins onto the rump. Yeah, you get your entrecote steaks from there. If I want to do a T-bone steak, I put my fillet in there. Yeah. Here we have a rump. That's a nice big piece of meat, okay? It's a little bit more chewier, okay, but you wouldn't call it tough. It's just got a bit more resistance to the bite, okay? But it's really, really beefy in flavour. All right? And then I've got the hip bone that comes off there, joins into my buttock, okay? Not my buttock, this buttock.
If you just want to just lay down, I want to give you a bit more information on where we're going here. Hey, Joshua, can you get on all fours, please? Get on all fours. No. This is, you know, whether it's pig, lamb, a little rabbit, pork, or a human, we're all roughly constructed the same way, and it's purely the scale that makes you have more cuts. So, for instance, if I'm touching the beef shin here, this is his shin there, right? That's his calf muscle, we would call it. That's the beef shin. If we go around to the sort of top side here, that's his thigh, right? And if you just touch the rump over there, Dave, right? That's his rump. So the rump is pretty much your buttocks, right? And then we go through to the sirloin, which is here, right? So this, in a human, this is where your sirloin is, and then it goes through to your wing rib and forerib here, right? And then we haven't got any more than that. It's the same in any animal, right? The prime cuts are here, because it's lazy, because it hasn't got that sinew that kind of does all the hard work. The shoulders here, the neck, the buttocks and the shin, right? They're all the ones carrying all the weight in the graft. Now, like Dave said earlier, there's no real difference between quality. It's just some parts cook quickly and there's not much of them, so the price is up. And some parts are really tasty, but they need long and slow cooking because they're tough, yeah? Who's ever had a really nice stew where it just melts in your mouth?
I made it.
Okay, so if I took that same meat and fried it, what do you think it would be like?
Tough.
Tough as old boots. Yeah. Back over to you, Dave.
We're moving back now to the back end of the animal. I've taken the shin off already, and I'll touch on that in a bit. On the inside is my top side, okay, and there's my top rump. Yeah, and they're all prime roasting joints.
That looks nice.
Yeah.
Raw meat.
Again, people will have preferences. Some people like top side, some people like silver side. When you're separating meat, you've got these little membranes. These little membranes separating all the different muscles, okay? What I'm doing now is, I'm separating the top rump.
That looks absolutely beautiful, that does.
It probably does look like a leg.
That is a leg, what we call shin of beef. And as Jamie said, this is a fantastic cut of meat.
That shank, let's just imagine you had a family of 4, right, and you ain't got no money, but you want to feed them great food, yeah? That whole bit of meat costs about £7 to buy, right? It has incredible flavour, and you'll feed how many people? 6 to 8?
Easy.
6 to 8 easily.
12 maybe even.
Right, so that's 50p a portion. Let me just say, the reason for me wanting you to know this is twofold. If you know how to buy meat, it's going to taste what? Better. If you know how to buy meat, you're going to save what? Right, I'm going to do this very quickly. Let me give you some facts and figures. Try and be quiet, and we'll smash it out in about 5.5 minutes. So we have a sirloin here. You're all going to have a sirloin, right? We're going to hit it with salt on top, salt on the plate. We're going to hit it with pepper, lots of pepper. But steak likes pepper. We're going to go olive oil, right, on there. Never put olive oil in a griddle pan. Always just oil whatever it is that you're going to be doing. Get this screaming hot, searingly hot. Preheat it for 5 minutes, right? This is the sinew here and the fat, right? We can encourage that by just press it down and we just get some colour on it. No one, I mean, you don't have to eat the fat anyway, but if you're going to eat it, you want it crispy, you don't want it wobbly. So I'm literally, all I'm doing is just pushing it like that, down, right? And we just leave it there for a second, okay? Once that falls over, push it down so it really touches all the bars. And I do not want you to touch it until it's at about 2 minutes, okay? If you keep touching it about, you're going to ruin the texture of the meat. Meat, you are made mainly of water, okay, i.e. blood. So, as we're all made of the same, cow or humans, when the heat's coming from the bottom, what's it going to do to the water or the blood? It's going to push it up. To make a steak really juicy, you want to cook it at the same amount of time on every side. If you do 3 minutes on one side and 1 minute on the other, what's going to happen inside? Have you ever eaten a steak where it's really uneven inside?
Yeah.
Okay, that's because the person cooking it wasn't diligent, right? And you in your own home should be able to cook a steak better than any chef because they've got 1 million steaks to cook, you're only cooking your one. We've got the rosemary stick here. Rosemary and steak are pretty much a classic combination. Slice a little garlic here like that. And you want a little knob of butter here. Like that. And then as you turn it, hopefully what will happen under there is it will be dancing with fat. It will be crispy, it will be bubbling. And do you remember what we said about the amplifier and the flavour? Right, we're going to pat it with that, and that little pat will make all the difference, okay? So, at this point in time, hopefully, it's looking good. See how it's bubbling? While it's bubbling, we rub it with garlic, like that. And then you pat it, you clear up some of this fat in the thing, and you just pat it on like that, and that will give it incredible flavour. Okay? And then we cook it for another 2 minutes, exactly the same. What you can do is just push it down to make sure it's all touching those bars. And actually what some people do is they have like a method where they sit something on it to really press it down. I'm going to teach you how to dress the board. And what that means is it's a really basic way of creating a place, whether it's chicken, fish or steak, right? I'm just going to get some basic herbs of parsley, right? Right. I'm going to just chop it up and then use the cross-chopping method. Right, we've got this tiny bit of garlic. I want a little pinch of salt on it, and I think you mentioned it the other day, or you just squash it. You don't put your hand anywhere near the blade. You squash the garlic like that, and the salt and the flavour and the colour of. It's purely abrasive and it's seasoning.
What's this for? Is this to make a sauce?
It's called dressing the board. Not a lot of people do it in England, but it makes all the difference. Now you can, if you want to go Asian, you can go ginger and chilli. If you want to kind of go French, you can put French mustard in there and stuff like that. It's just having a place where the steak's going to be really, really good. Now when I turn the meat, right, I want to turn it 90 degrees so you get the so you get the crossbars, okay? So I'm going to push it down. I'm going to rub it just a couple of times with the garlic. And then I'm going to mop up with the herbs. And remember, we don't really want to move the steak now, right? So, on the board here, we're going to go olive oil. And a little bit of lemon juice always helps. It's that sweet, sour. You want to get all those flavours going on your mouth, even a little bit like that. So, what I probably will do is just move that around like that. And that's what the steak's going to rest on. And whether that was a chicken thigh or fillet is going to be great. Now, just very quickly, horseradish. Who likes horseradish?
I never tried. I absolutely love it.
It's very British. That is a horseradish, right? And you don't have to be a genius to work out why it's called a horseradish, if you know what I mean. And all you do is trim it, right? And then grate it. They grow everywhere in England, everywhere. There's a lot of free food out there. Right. It's good for you. Smell it. Smell that around. Okay. So the reason our eyes are watering is because it's strong, it's mustardy. Right? Have a smell. I'm going to turn this steak. Every time I turn it, I'm mopping up the fat in this pan and I'm patting it.
Jamie, you're healing people.
It's really good for you.
I feel like it's like cartoon or something. You know my damn eyes.
I'm going to be wanting you to dress me a salad with a little oil, lemon juice, salt and pepper, right? I want to see you dress the board with the garlic and the parsley and the olive oil, yeah, and the lemon juice. I want you to cook a beautiful steak, medium, right? When I say medium, that's a test. So I'm telling you I want it well, right? But I don't want it nuked, okay? I want you guys here, if you give me medium and it's medium rare, that we're learning something from that. If I ask you for medium, you give me well done, we're also learning that you... I want you to learn to cook a steak.
Medium.
Okay. Okay. When the steak comes off, we're going to dress the board, yeah? So we're going to just move this around, right? It's a really brilliant way. Honestly, people in England just do not do this, right? And what you're going to see is natural juices come out, and we just grab a little bit of butter, we just rub that. You need to let it rest for at least 2 minutes. Why?
Because you've got to wait for all the moisture to sit. Wait till everything sits.
It's letting everything go back to the place in which it came, right? Use the length of your knife, right? So instead of going like that, just use the length of your knife, it's easy. And then just open it out on the plate like that. Here's the juice.
First and last we'll ever get cooked by Jamie.
Okay.
It smells so nice, it looks so nice.
He's a tease with his food. He knows we want it, so he makes us wait longer.
Yeah.
Right, I want you to present your beautiful steak like this. So, can you guys do this?
Yeah.
Right, now you can eat it.
Oh my god.
Is that not the best steak you've ever had?
Jesus.
And that's fairly standard beef that you'd get in any supermarket or market, okay? It's purely the method of cooking.
Taste that, sir.
All I would say is try things when I ask, and two, what I've taught you today is exactly the same for it medium or cooked through well. So you got to get going. You got half an hour, brother. So we're cooking the steak. While the steak's cooking, we're looking after it, patting it, taking care of it. Then we're going to dress the board, squashed half a garlic, parsley, oil, salt and pepper, and lemon juice. Then we dress a little salad. Cross-chopping. Yeah, that's the one. I want to see you cross-chopping. See, look, this little one here, she's like always on the periphery of everything that I'm doing. But look, she's seasoned it beautifully, she's got it standing up. You're actually good, but you're always on the outside of what I'm doing. I'm looking for it to be perfectly cooked. And we don't need too much parsley. While that's cooking, dress your board. And remember, I want to see you doing this. That's it, turn it down. And you need to turn it 90 degrees. And then you get the crossbar mark. Don't be scared of it.
I'm scared of it. I'm not gonna lie.
This is perfect, you've done such a good job. Honestly, that is proper. If I come round your house and you cook me a steak like that, proper. People that don't know how to cook proper steaks are very sad. They don't realise how lovely it can be.
Am I doing it right?
That's enough, bro. And then really dress it in that board and let it just sit there for a minute before you start slicing it. You can get your salad together then. Have a little clean down, be proud of yourself, be diligent. Very good. Just a handful, really. Yeah. Okay, guys, you're going to slice the steak, dress a bit of watercress, and you're going to plate it on a clean plate. You're going to clean your plate and serve it beautifully. What do you reckon? Turn it over. That's good, go for it. That looks good. Okay, remember it's medium, don't overcook it, guys. And by the way, guys, I tell you what's really good about this is you've only been cooking 6 minutes and look what you've already created. Who's ready to serve up? Me. You're always there, you're always listening, you're never a fucking pain in the ass, you know.
I enjoy cooking.
Constantly you're quick, right? You've got a clean plate, you've done a great job.
I don't know what it's cooked like though.
It's cooked to perfection, that's medium. I'm telling you, I would, if you came for a job in my restaurant, I'd put you right in at the bottom, you get a job straight away. Again, well done. Very impressed with you. Right, medium I asked for. You haven't quite, well, it's like a concertina.
Yeah, I did. I was getting a bit worried.
However, no, what you did is you didn't cut through.
Yeah.
So knife skills, shame. Meat, brilliant. Seasoned to perfection. I suggest you go and cut that properly.
Yeah, and then eat it, yeah?
And then eat it. Okay, babe, you've cooked this to absolute perfection. It's blushing. Super tender, great flavour. You've got the best board flavour so far.
Am I a bit done too much?
A little bit, but not much. Phenomenal.
Yeah?
Really good. Go and eat your food.
Cheers.
You should be proud of yourself.
Not very well presented.
Did you dress that?
No.
Okay. So if I was marking you on that, which I am, I'd mark you down for that. Really well cooked, slightly overcooked. That's the tastiest steak I've had so far.
Cheers.
Will you remember that for the rest of your life? Happy days. That's what it's all about. In the crew.
No.
Tiger, come forth.
Fucked it up. I'm really sorry. It looks like shit, doesn't it?
No,
For sure, that.
you've just you've overcooked it. That's a well done steak, give or take. Flavour's amazing though. I wouldn't say that was a fuck up. That's incredible meat, cooked well and seasoned beautifully, and all you did was you lost the confidence to take it off earlier. And probably that's because in general people didn't listen to the specific timings that I gave. Very good. You pay money for that,
I'm eating all
but for a well done. Jamal. Okay, Jamal, bit chunky on the slice, dude. Doorsteps there, brother. Bit overcooked. Bit under-seasoned.
Okay.
What was good about this? Well, you cooked it. You need to cook it less, season it more, and I think generally just have a bit more confidence with your knife skills and you'll smash it next time. But you know, listen, it wasn't perfect, okay? Fine. That's fine, because I've cooked plenty of bad steaks. And the thing is, when you've gone slightly over, you know, I'm saying season it more, well, you can do that easily, and cook it less. You can do that easily, yeah? The next time you do it, you'll be in a better place. So sometimes mistakes are positives as well. It helps you get a bit more understanding of how the meat reacts to heat. But well done, you finished it. Guys, can you just come forward? So your homework tonight is what, do you think? Okay, remember your portfolios of work, right? I want you taking pictures of stuff and presenting it and stuff like that. Okay, well done, guys. Good class.